Hey guys, Jenny here and welcome back to my channel. This video has been waiting for weeks to be uploaded, but I took a while before I got around to recording this voiceover. In today's video, I will be showing you a Filipino classic, and that is Ensaymada. It's a fluffy soft bread topped with butter, sugar, and sometimes cheese. So if you want to know how to make this, just stick around and I'll show you how it's done. Now let's get into the video. First off, in a big mixing bowl, combine your flour, sugar, and salt. And then give it a quick stir just to disperse the salt, because now, after that, we'll add the instant yeast. Take note that you should avoid directly adding the yeast to the salt, because the salt will kill the yeast and you don't want that, because the yeast is our leavener here. So there goes our yeast, and then I just give it a quick stir like so. And then add in your melted butter, warm water, and warm milk. Please take note that your liquids should be lukewarm but not boiling hot. When you touch them, you shouldn't feel any burn. So the temperature would be around 110 degrees Fahrenheit or 43 degrees Celsius. And then dump in your eggs, which should be at room temperature. Now I'm going to be using my stand mixer to mix everything together. If you don't have a stand mixer, that's fine. Just use a simple bowl, a wooden spoon or spatula, and just mix them by hand. If you are using a stand mixer, use the dough hook attachment to mix this into a dough. Start on low speed for about 1 to 2 minutes and then increase the speed to medium for another 5 to 8 minutes. You may have to scrape the bowl to get the flour at the bottom of the bowl. After a few minutes of mixing, you will find that it is super sticky, and that, my dear friends, is how you want it to be. So that white thing that I'm using is a plastic dough scraper. It is super cheap and it makes bread making very convenient. In this clip, I am not playing with the dough, okay? I am just showing you how fluid the dough would look like so you have an idea what to expect when you make this. And then, using the scraper, I will transfer the dough into a well-oiled bowl and cover it with a cling wrap or a tea towel. And we are going to let this rest in a warm corner for about an hour to an hour and a half, or until it doubles in size. Our kitchen is normally a bit warm, so leaving it on the countertop does the trick. So after an hour and a half, this is what the dough looks like. Yes, it's the exact same little dough that you saw earlier. It's just puffier because the yeast did its job well. So remove the cling wrap and punch it down to release some air and redistribute the yeast into the dough. It is a sticky dough, so expect it to cling onto your fist. To avoid what you just saw, grease your hand with some vegetable oil before doing that. Now we will transfer this dough into a clean, well-floured surface and we'll divide it into 12 to 15 equal pieces. You can just eyeball it, or you can use a digital weighing scale to make sure that they'll have about the same size when you bake them. So I'm still using my plastic scraper to do that, so it's super handy. It's a very good investment because it's less than 100 pesos, so super worth it. So after dividing the dough into equal pieces, we are now going to prepare them into a log and then into a spiral. So to do that, first take one dough, flour your surface, and put the dough on top of that floured surface. And then put some more flour on top of the dough, and then using your rolling pin, roll this dough into about 10 by 4 inch rectangle. It doesn't have to be super precise. If there are parts of the dough clinging into your rolling pin, just add a little bit of flour to keep it from sticking. And then now we are going to brush the surface with some soft butter. Again, the butter should be soft, so remember to remove it from the fridge about 20 minutes before you get to this step. So now we are going to roll this dough to form a log, rolling from the wider side of the dough. So you can again use your scraper to help remove the dough from the surface if it's stuck, just so you don't tear it. And then give it a quick roll like so. Pinch it to make sure that the seams are well sealed. And then we are going to roll this to form a spiral like so. And then tuck the end of the dough under the rest of itself. I'm not sure if I'm describing it properly, but I know you understand because I have the demo. And then just repeat this step to the other doughs. So you may find that some of the doughs were not even 10-inch wide, and that's okay. If it's 8-inch wide, it still works. You will find that if you roll the dough and you feel like it's going to tear, if you roll it further, then you can stop. Okay, so that's just the basic guideline that I use. So about 8 to 10-inch wide by around 4-inch. Okay? Once you're done forming all your little doughs into a spiral, put them on a baking tray lined with silpat or parchment paper, and then cover it with a cling wrap and let it rest for about 30 to 45 minutes. Give them some space between them so they don't stick together as they bake. After 30 to 45 minutes, they will double in size and they're ready to be baked. During this process, please let the dough rise on the tray you plan to bake them on. Because once the dough rises, you won't be able to transfer them anymore. If you try to do that, you will disturb the dough and it will just release all the air that it created while it was resting, so it would be a total waste of time. So make sure that you let them rest on the tray you plan to use to bake them. Now we are going to bake these little guys in a 325 degrees Fahrenheit preheated oven for about 15 minutes. When they come out of the oven, they will look golden. Give them plenty of time to cool and then slather some soft butter on top and then sprinkle with some sugar. I also like to grate some cheddar cheese on top, but that's optional. It depends on how you like your ensaymada. And that's it, guys. I hope you like this video, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that notification bell below so you don't miss out on any of my rare uploads. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on my next video. Bye!